Good morning again, everyone. I am a little bit tired. I recently got back from helping out with the BCA youth retreat. So Koichi was there too. He's probably more tired than I am. The last night that the kids were all there, they stayed up really late doing karaoke. I managed to make it to about 2 o'clock and then I had to go to sleep. But it was a great experience, a lot of really great kids there. And I don't know, has anyone heard the expression, out the mouths of babes, off comes gems? Yeah. So these kids, it's kind of an old expression, I think I read it in like an old book or something. Anyway, so these kids, they gave Dharma talks. That was one of the responsibilities that they had. They had many different ones as far as like leading service, helping out, set up, and of course learning a great deal. There was a lot of lectures, but it was incredible to hear these kids speak because they're from the ages of, I think the youngest was about 14 to like 18, and still being very young, they were able to have very insightful and meaningful Dharma talks just from the lives that they had lived. And so one of them in particular really kind of touched me because it was really sad. So there was a girl there that raised puppies to be guide dogs. So you get this puppy and you're supposed to teach it, basic manners and then socialize it to be out so that it's used to being around people and dogs, just being outside in general. And then if you raise the dog well enough, then you're able to put them into the program in which they then get further training into how to assist people who are handicapped, whether they're blind or something else. They go into this next level of training and eventually will help someone. So this girl thought this was a wonderful experience because she was able to help out people. Of course, she was able to raise this puppy, but she was thinking about, I'm going to be able to do this great thing for somebody out there. They're going to really need a lot of help, and to be able to contribute to their life is a great honor. However, this retreat was actually on the week that she had to bring the puppy to this new school because the puppy got injured. So it was accepted. She did a good job, and she was able to bring the puppy in. And it was really tough for her talking about this because, as anyone can imagine, she had to give up this puppy. And as I was always hearing her tell the story, I thought, wow, what a great job, right? You get all these puppies, you don't have to worry about them getting older or anything, they stay cute, you get all these different cute dogs. But then hearing her talk about it, I was thinking, oh man, but you gotta give them up every time. And I don't know, that'd be really tough. And so it amazed me just at the sheer fact that she was at the retreat. Whereas, if I had to give up my dog, the last week I'd probably be there every day, wouldn't leave its side. But she had this incredible realization and this understanding of her relationship with the dog, and then also whoever it was that was going to be receiving this guide dog. And she flipped it in this amazing way where she said that she thought that she was giving this gift to someone who needed a guide dog. But what she realized was this person who needed the guide dog was actually giving her the gift of being able to have this puppy. And so for her to have that kind of realization, it blew my mind because I would never have thought of it that way. But she had this deep and sincere gratitude of being able to have that puppy in her life, to be able to raise it, have that bond and connection. And it was only because that there was someone out there that needed, and maybe in the future will need, some kind of guide dog. And because of that opportunity, she was able to have that experience of raising the puppy. So that was amazing for me to be able to understand that she had that incredible realization. And it touched me in understanding how we see Amida Buddha. So Amida Buddha is our central object of worship. And I had like kind of this super crash course in the meditation service. So that was like 5 minutes of way densely packed stuff that probably no one got anything out of. But Amida Buddha, the name Amida comes from 2 Sanskrit words, Amitayus and Amitabha. So the Ak is a negator, meaning like no or none. Mita is meter, to measure, and then Ba is Life and use is light. So it's the Buddha of immeasurable, not measurable life and not measurable light. And life and light are representations of wisdom and compassion. And there's many different ways of representing this. And so one of them is we have the candle, which is light, and then the flowers, which are life. And it's all pointing to this wisdom and compassion that constantly surrounds us. Where this kind of touched me is this idea of immeasurable, and that we kind of have this notion of what immeasurable means, right? That you can't really measure it, you can't find this way of holding it down or narrowing it down into things that we can actually keep count of. But there's this feeling of just unfathomable love in our lives. Love so much, there's so much love in our lives that we can't count it. We can't count on our fingers, we can't measure it with some kind of measuring tape, but the love in our life is so great that it is immeasurable. And that's where this idea of immeasurable life comes from. When we look upon our own lives and we realize all the experiences that we have are because of this incredible amount of love that is constantly given to us, that's when we really understand the true meaning of what Amida Buddha is. Amida Buddha isn't a person, it's not someone that's out here. There's a lot of figurative speech that people use, but what Amida Buddha really is love. It's that love that's constantly surrounding us that allows us to live our life. So I hope this has a little bit of explanation to help your understanding of Buddhism, but to understand that if we reflect upon ourselves and realize how much we perceive, we start to understand that the amount of love in our lives is really uncountable, it's immeasurable, and understanding that we put our hands together and we take refuge in that love, we take refuge in Amida Buddha, we say Namo Amida Butsu. So you please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.